welcome to Dualshock'd, the Brotherhood of Geeks PlayStation podcast. I'm one of your hosts, Brett J. Rasmussen, and over here I got my other co-host,
Guru Blaz.
Guru Blaz, yeah. Don't forget to go ahead and subscribe, like, and comment on this video. But what is going on, Blaze?
Not too much. I finally beat XCOM 2.
Nice.
Biggest video game news for me.
Is to beat XCOM?
Well, out of what I've been playing lately, I still gotta beat DMC 5. Sometimes I just don't feel like playing a game for a while, and then I come back and finish it off, which is what happened with XCOM. I just had it for a long time. Finally beat it, or at least obtained a victory. Granted, it was on rookie because when I first started playing it, I wasn't nearly as good at it as I am now, kind of understanding how it works. And now I'm going to be starting a new game at some point soon on normal difficulty, which is what I originally had started on, but it just got too hard for me, and I wanted to just beat the game. So now I'm going to go back with my foreknowledge of what is the best things to do and how things work, and I'm going to crush it.
Destroy it.
And
done.
Yep.
Bam.
I've also reached a point in One Finger Death Punch 2 where I'm actually I'm at a level that I haven't passed yet because in addition to being harder.
I did One Finger Death Punch to you.
Yeah.
Are you dead?
No.
Oh damn.
But that's just because you suck at it.
Damn.
But no, yeah,
Anyway,
it's like a 720 person level, and that's more than usual. So I'm at that point in there right now, and then it's pretty much as far as video games go.
Funsies,
yeah,
great. For me, what I've been doing is
nothing.
Nothing. Just been doing nothing.
I've been sitting in my house in my chair, staring at my wall,
just
in my free time. Imagining what it would be like to be able to play a video game. Exactly.
Anyway, no, I've been doing more than that, Blaze. I've actually gone.
But you admit that you've been doing that too, then, by what you just said.
I mean, no? Wait, what? I don't even know. What do you mean by that? I don't even understand what you mean.
Just keep going. It's fine.
What? No. What do you even mean by that, Blaze?
Because, I haven't been doing just that. It implies that you have also been doing that.
Me and I totally know words. I'm very good at this.
I just know words gooder.
You know words. Yay, you, Blaze.
Yeah.
All right. But no. For me, I have been playing more of Mortal Kombat 11. Which we will definitely.
Well, I've been playing that too, but that was literally yesterday I beat that game.
Okay.
So that was most recent.
Most recent, yeah.
But yeah, I've been playing MK.
No, man, it's so good. It's great.
As if there was any.
I do have a few problems with.
We're gonna get to that.
We're gonna get there later. But I've been playing through that. And now I've been playing through Days Gone because I had to get through Mortal Kombat 11 so that way we could review it. And now that we're going to be doing that today, now I'm going through Days Gone so that way we can review that next.
There you go.
Which I'm having a good time with Days Gone.
I don't have it because of finance. I don't have $60 to throw at it.
I guess we'll have to fix that then.
Yeah. What, are you going to buy me a copy?
I don't know, maybe.
Well, if you really want to do that, I won't say no. I just got, paying rent and putting gas in my tank is a precedent.
I do that too, but gotta play Days Gone.
But you also have, I just got a second job like you, so once the money rolls in.
I like that.
Then
I like that.
It'll be a different story.
Yeah, well, no, that's great. They have that money dollars just rolling in like this. Yeah.
Besides, money's just a social construct, so I don't really feel bad about it.
I have no idea what you just said, but okay.
It means that it's an imaginary thing
that
has no value other than the value that we attribute to it. So I never feel bad about having lower high finances. It's just like having more of it allows me to do more fun things. It's a means to an end and nothing more.
Yes.
Yeah.
Great. Awesome. I'm glad that Blaze is able to explain things. But great. But yeah, that's what I've been doing. But should we go ahead and get started?
Yeah, I thought we already did.
Well, yeah.
Just start.
Well, fine. All right, let's go ahead and begin with our news segment. News of the Nation.
Yeah.
How was that One Finger Death Punch?
Terrible.
God.
Your kung fu is not strong. Sorry. I don't know if you want to start this battle. Because I've already could have killed you 3 times in the second it took you to lift your arms. Pretty much.
All right, great. All right, but jokes aside, let's go ahead and get this started. So, first topic for this. PlayStation has just announced their new games for PlayStation Plus for May of 2019. The 2 free games that we'll be getting for PlayStation Plus in May is the original Overcooked and What Remains of Edith Finch. Both of these games will become available on May 7th. So by the time that you guys see this, it'll be up and available right now. Which actually, these are 2 really good games.
I'm not a big Overcooked fan, but I would try the other game.
I've actually played What Remains of Edith Finch. It's been on the store for a while. I think I've already bought it, or no, it was on the PS3.
What kind of game is it? I know I've heard of it, but I just don't remember.
So I'll go through the synopsis.
Yeah, just read it.
Ooh. Excuse me. All right. The synopsis of What Remains of Edith Finch. From the creators of The Unfinished Swan, the award-winning What Remains of Edith Finch is a highly original and often surreal experience. As the latest of the cursed Finch family line, visit your family's old family home and discover more about your relatives' untimely deaths through unique interactive storytelling. Somber, thought-provoking, and at times deeply moving. What Remains of Edith Finch is one of this generation's most underestimated gems. Understated gems. I can read. If you missed it the first time around, now is your chance to experience it. Winner of Best Game 2017 from the British Academy Game Award, BAFTA. Best Narrative Award at the Game Developers Choice Awards of 2018, and more. Developer Giant Sparrow's follow-up to their debut release, The Unfinished Swan, is a truly special experience.
You should let me read the Overcooked description. I'm in a description reading mood when you're
in a description reading mood? Yeah. Okay, all right. But yeah,
besides, I don't think I've ever read the news.
No, it's always me. I didn't know.
I've allowed it to happen.
You will. I'll allow it.
Yeah.
I'll allow it.
Yes, my lord.
Yes, my lord. Now Guru is just like, my turn now. Yeah. But anyway, no, so you haven't even seen trailers?
No, I only saw like a brief glimpse of it once a long time ago, and I kind of forgot about it completely just because it wasn't really on my radar. Mm-hmm. But if it's free, that's a game that I find interesting. I like a good storytelling game.
Yeah.
Mystery, that'd be fun.
I saw.
Is it like a first person?
Yeah, it's like it's all in first person.
Is it like one step above a point and click or what? Like, what are we talking? Or is it more like Call of Cthulhu, where like do you have some agency, walk around?
No, like you have agency. Like it's honestly similar to Unfinished Swan, but
I haven't played that either.
Unfinished Swan is the gameplay, at least with Unfinished Swan, is it's as if you're in a painting. You can pretty much throw out like spatters of black ink, and the more you spatter, objects will appear. So it's like all 3D. Like it's really, really cool. Like
worth a shot.
These guys are really, really artsy. That's why I really like this game. I played What Remains of Edith Finch. I'm going to add this to my library. Probably replay it once I finish Days Gone. But yeah, this is really good. All right, but do you want to go ahead and do?
Yeah, I'm just going to switch spots with you.
Oh, great! All right,
that'll be
doing the switcheroo. Here we go. Dude, gonna go over here. Yeah. Ooh, I got a new mic now.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
Apparently, now that if you're in that chair, now you read the news. Here we go.
Well, it's right here, so it'd be easy.
There you go.
I could read it from over there.
I mean, you could. I mean, mind you, I'm blind. Like, even with me with glasses, I can barely read that. But anyway.
Overcooked. Built specifically with local co-op play in mind, Overcooked is a fun, frantic, and often hilarious experience for up to 4 players. You and your friends will join forces to become a team of chefs and work against the clock to turn out dishes for hungry customers. With a strong emphasis on teamwork and timing, you'll need to communicate with each other to chop vegetables, fry steak, stir sauces, plate up finished meals, and more. All without the kitchen catching fire. Well, that's probably good.
Oh, yeah.
With its cute, colorful stylings, huge range of dishes and kitchen layouts, easy controls, accessible gameplay, and focus on silly over-the-top antics, Overcooked is the perfect party game for gamers and non-gamers alike. Play solo or enjoy couch co-op in competitive modes for up to 4 players.
Yeah, great. Okay, now we're moving back. All right.
That's all I wanted.
Ooh, I wasn't ready for that.
Especially for a game I've never played.
Oh, great. But yeah, that was great. Good job. Yeah. But yeah, Overcooked.
I mean, I've seen gameplay for it. It's just not my style of game.
Again, these are these two games are not of the norm.
Yeah, they're definitely a little bit more underground than but at least compared to what the last few months have had.
No, and like I saw when this video went up on PlayStation's own YouTube channel, like the dislike ratio was like crazy. Like there were it was like 60-40 dislike.
Yeah.
Or like it was like 60-40, 70-30. Like there were more.
Well, but the thing is, I don't think I wouldn't want indie developers to be snuffed because PlayStation would only release like AAA titles.
Because that's what
I mean, I have The Witness for free because they decided to put that out, and I love that game.
Exactly. Like honestly, that's what I like about PlayStation Plus, and I really do miss the days when you got PS3 and Vita. I understand why they don't do it anymore because the PS3 has been dead for 3 to 4 years. Like it's no longer supported anymore. I'm not saying people aren't playing on a PS3. I still play on PS3 every so often, but they're making games for the PS4. That's what they want you to get.
Right.
But having those I'll just go ahead and dust off my PS3 and play this game or whatever. Like that was really, really good, and I liked that. So honestly, I'm happy with these personally, but I like artsy fartsy style.
Oh, I like that too. Like I like the Stanley Parable is one of my favorite games, and it's literally just walking around and dialogue, and then a few like interactions here and there. As long as it's done well, like. It can be a fantastic game. Like The Witness is just walking around puzzle solving and trying to figure out what the hell's going on.
Yeah. But I mean, I can see why some people why it's dislike because it's like, what are these games? I've never played. Like what is this? I was expecting to get like I don't know, like NBA or like some AAA game, which
it's like and the thing is, you also got to realize it's like when they release those games, there's more of a demographic than just hardcore AAA title players. There's plenty of people who would want Overcooked or Edith Finch for free.
Yeah.
Or just to give exposure to those smaller, companies or games that just don't see as much limelight because they, weren't touted as much or didn't have as much hype behind them when they released.
Yeah, and I mean, one thing that I'm honestly surprised they haven't done yet, and maybe it's because they don't have a big enough library for this, but like I remember months ago we got Rigs for free on Plus, which is a PSVR game.
I know
we got Until Dawn Rush of Blood for free on Plus. Like they added VR games to the Plus library, and that was really good. Honestly, I would love to see them go. You get 3 games, 2 regular ones, so like your Overcooked,
and then one VR,
and then one VR game. Even if it's like one like a $10 one or $20 one, and then you could throw in that big one, like Work Simulator, or Rick and Morty, or Batman VR. Or you could double down. You could put in Resident Evil Biohazard, which is a VR game, but it's also a regular game too. That's one that you could put in too. So I don't know, but personally, I'm happy with these ones. I like these, but I can see why people aren't excited.
It's because the last few months have been nothing but like bigger titles. So I think it's just people like, oh, that's not what you have been giving us, and it's like, well, they're like they're not. I mean, they gave out XCOM for free a while ago.
Yeah.
But like, that I consider that more of like it's like a less played overall. But I would have. I bought it before that happened.
Yeah.
But like games that don't get as much exposure, I think it's cool. Like they're not just pandering to just Besides, it also depends. There's probably like a bunch of business logistics that go into securing those titles go on for free.
Oh yeah.
So putting out smaller games every now and again probably helps overhead or something.
And like that's what I like about.
And it's again still like I think that's awesome that those games get exposure. Like games that I would never maybe hear about or see because I don't PC game as much because I don't have enough money to upgrade my computer. Like, I mean, it would work for most of what's out, but it's just like a good graphics card's like the price of a console, which just, I just don't need that right now.
Yep.
But I have a console, so it kind of replaces that desire to be able to play games of like a more independent nature, or at least ones that just kind of, you know, had a limited release or weren't really big, and I wouldn't have heard about them through my channels.
Yeah, and like as we have said before on other past episodes of Dualshock'd, every month just add them to your library. It doesn't take up any space, and you get those games forever. As long as you have PlayStation Plus, you get to keep them. Every single month, no matter if it's a game I like, I care about, or don't care about, I still add them because you get access to them. Period. And maybe like right now, you know, you're like, oh, I don't care, or you're too busy playing Days Gone, or Fortnite, or Mortal Kombat, or Devil May Cry, or name a game. But maybe down the line when you're like, what game should I play? You dig out your Plus library and you'll find a game. Like that's how some of the games that I
still have games downloaded that I haven't touched. Like I still have Yakuza Kiwami that I'm gonna play eventually. You know,
like that. Like that's how I fell in love with Guacamelee. Like Guacamelee was a free game on Plus. I didn't play it when it first came out, but like months, maybe even a year or two after it came out, I went ahead and like, I have nothing else to play. I'll play Guacamelee. I've heard people talk about it. Downloaded it, started playing it. I love it. I mean, it's great. But speaking of games that came out on Plus, on to our next segment, on to our next title, article, whatever, topic. Yay that. Next topic. Epic Games acquires Rocket League studio Psyonix. Epic Games has announced that it has acquired Psyonix, the studio behind the wildly successful Rocket League. Psyonix has promised that this will only bring about positive changes for Rocket League and its community. In short term, Psyonix claims that they will change nothing at all, but in the future, it will bring Rocket League to the Epic Games Store and grow the game in ways they couldn't do before. The Verge has stated that after Rocket League is brought to the Epic Games Store, it will no longer be available on the Steam Store. Rocket League was first released on the PS4 and PC back in 2015, and then in 2018 it surpassed 50 million players. And again, this comes from
I own Rocket
the
League
Verge.
too. There was a fat minute where I played Rocket League a lot. I still have it because it's just a fun game where you can play couch co-op.
Yeah. And that's what I meant. That's why I use that segue. Is that like the reason why?
And it was one of the very first cross-platform titles.
Honestly, the success of Rocket League, pretty much is because of PlayStation Plus. That game, when it first came out, it came out to PS4 in 2015, PS4 PC. If you had a PS4 and you had Plus, you got that game for free. Period.
I ended up buying it on Black Friday for like $15, but yeah.
Yeah, but like the very first time it came out, I had Plus and I added it to my library and I heard I had
you know what, and that's funny because I had a stigma about it originally, like where like I just like felt it was like, oh, the game is stupid, like, and you know, it just like it blew up real fast. It was like the game of that year.
Yeah.
Like the Fortnite without nearly as much staying power or money. But then I eventually played it, and I was just like, this is a solid game. It's fun. The one big criticism that I have about that game, that I don't know if it's been changed because I haven't played it in months, but they have this huge playlist of like electronic music, but it only plays during the menu, which is completely useless.
Yeah.
Like, I would have a game started from it, like within less than a minute, and then none of that music plays during your actual gameplay, which is like it's like the time I would want it. Like, granted, you can use Spotify or whatever, but it's like, why have all that music that it plays in the menu that you're in for like all of 2 seconds?
Yeah.
And it just makes no sense to me.
The only reason I can even think of is that like
I don't even think of a reason, because like they already must have had the licensing rights to have they have these full tracks. You can even go through the tracks and play them. Why not play them during the game itself? What's the difference?
Well, it could have been.
You don't need to listen for anything in Rocket League.
No, I mean it might be because of like when you're playing Rocket League with your buddies or whatever.
Then make it an option.
Oh, I agree. No, I completely agree.
I just don't understand. You just get some really drowned out drums in the background.
I don't know either. So
but other than that, it's a solid game.
But Rocket League is a great game, and the reason why I wanted to bring this up, because this pretty much is more of a PC thing. Like nothing's changing on PlayStation.
I mean, I got it on PS4.
Yeah, and so do I. Nothing on the PlayStation brand is changing, but the reason why, this is actually a big topic is really for the PC fan base, because of the
because it does have a competitive scene as well.
Well, now that the Epic Game Store, like Epic Games, is buying out third party publishers and developers and going, put them on here. Borderlands is only going to be Borderlands 3 when it comes out to PC, only on the Epic Game Store. The Outer Worlds, which is a game that a lot of people were looking forward to at E3 2018, the PC game is only going to be on the Epic Game Store. Metro Exodus, pretty much within a month of it being released, is going to the Epic Game Store, and it's only there. And I think the big problem is that I love exclusives. I'm a fan of exclusives, and I support them when it comes. That's why I bought a PlayStation. I love the exclusives. The developers of Naughty Dog, Sony Bend, Studio Japan, Sucker Punch, Santa Monica, so on and so forth. But these are all studios that are owned by Sony, meaning if you buy PlayStation, you're going to get these games from PlayStation. Same with Xbox. Xbox owns 343 and a few other studios. So when you buy an Xbox, you're going, I'm here to see Halo, I'm here to see Gears, that kind of thing. But what Epic is doing is that it's already going to come out to Steam. And then what they're doing is that they're saying, "Oh, nope, you can't go over there. You're gonna put it over here." I don't know. I know this isn't really.
It's essentially them trying to basically become Steam. That's what they're trying to do.
Well, yeah,
I don't think that they're going to beat Steam, though. I hope not, because honestly, I like Steam better. The only way they can hope to do it is by getting exclusives. So it's almost just they're just, and that's fine. There's nothing wrong with what they're doing, as long as they, think about how it's going to affect the players of the games that they have.
Mind you, them doing this is not giving them good PR.
No.
Because people are upset. People don't like the Epic Game Store launcher. People don't like it. It's built wrong. Mind you, I'm not a PC guy, so I personally...
I have Steam. That's, any game that I have on PC is with Steam.
And that's the thing is that, you've played those games on Steam, and then they're going to be taken away because it's going to be on the Epic. You played Rocket League on Steam.
Well, if you own a copy of the game legally, I don't think they can take away your copy.
I don't know though,
that's the thing.
Mind you, I don't know, because PT, that horror demo that was supposed to be for the next Silent Hill game, Konami killed it. Mind you, the people who bought it or got that demo can still play it to this day, but people who didn't, you can't get it. So I don't know if it's going to be something like that where if you've already bought it, you keep it, but if you haven't, then you have to go to the Epic Game Store, or they
I would assume what they'll do if they take it off Steam completely is they just give you a free copy of the game on the Epic Game Store, but then progress might be an issue.
But
then you'd have to basically start from
and that's what I mean. There are some there are problems with this. Even me, I don't play PC, but I'm definitely going I'm glad that there's competition in the PC gaming market, but this is not the right way to go about doing this, in my opinion.
But I feel like they probably think it's the only way, because otherwise, how are they gonna? They may have a lot of money, but it's Steam has such a foundation that it's built. It was pretty much the definitive PC gaming store for digital content.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, I
Plus the indie scene where people anybody can really just put anything they make on there.
Oh yeah, no, I completely.
And that's the thing. There's free games. There's cheap games. They got the Steam sales.
Mm-hmm. And mind you,
they've established themselves.
Steam has its own problems, but
nothing's perfect.
Oh no, of course not. But when it comes to this kind of thing, it's. I don't know.
It's a slippery slope.
It's a slippery slope, and honestly, I guess we'll just have to kind of see more. But Epic Games is really throwing around their Fortnite money and going all right, we're getting this, and Epic Games is
probably because they see Fortnite inevitably going nowhere. and they're based. I think it's more of a retirement plan.
Oh yeah,
because I mean, it may be a while, but eventually I think Fortnite is going to die off once it gets replaced by something.
Well, it's going to become like Fortnite is the current Minecraft.
Yeah,
that's what it is.
Right.
Like Minecraft still exists, and Minecraft still has its fans, but it is not. You don't hear people talking about.
Well, they used to.
Oh yeah,
but it's basically because
like now it's
and it was like I've already said, it's a combination of Minecraft and like a Call of Duty. That's why it's so it basically took the two major like mainstream game types and then kind of put its own spin on it.
Yep, and then the battle royale
released it for free.
Yeah, exactly. And I think that free aspect
with the possibility of buying things to like cosmetics.
Well, that's how they're making all their money. And again,
well, yeah,
we've talked about Fortnite, and I think our opinions are known about how we feel about Fortnite. But it's very interesting to see that Epic Games has acquired Rocket League. But yeah, let's go ahead and move on. I think we've kind of talked about it and that kind of stuff. But let's go ahead and move on to the next topic. The next State of Play is coming out. It's going to be on May 9th. This is coming from the PlayStation blog, and I'll just pull it up right here. Let's see. All right, this State of Play is going to be pretty much the headliner is going to be Medieval Remastered. That's going to be the headliner. This is going to featuring an extended look at Medieval and a first look at a new title and more. Sid Schumann pretty much is kind of the head of social media from PlayStation. He just put up a quick post and he just said he's excited to share that State of Play will return for a new episode next Thursday, May 9th. So that's actually this coming Thursday. Like this in about 3 days, 2 days by time of recording right now. And it'll be at 3 p.m. Pacific time or 6 p.m. Eastern time. We live in Wisconsin, so for us it'll be Central time, so it'll be 5 o'clock our time for us. And it'll be a very quick show. It's only going to be about 10 minutes. We've got some PS4 updates that we couldn't wait to share with you. PlayStation Worldwide Studios will be showing off an extended look at Medieval as well as a first look at a new title. And we'll have other updates and announcements from upcoming PS4 games. One note, do not expect any updates relating to our next generation plans at this time. Sorry. So they've already stated, do not expect like more stuff talking about
doesn't surprise
PS5.
Me. They've already released the article that's pretty much.
And like we're only in May. They need to do one in June. Sid Schumann says that you can watch it live on Twitch, YouTube, Twitter, and Facebook as usual. As always, we're always reading your feedback and comments, so please keep them coming. There's lots more in store in State of Play Episode 3. We'll return later in the year with more news and updates. So again, it could be in June. It could be later than that. I don't know. But... So it's only going to be 10 minutes. It's going to be a quick show, about 10 minutes. We ourselves are going to be doing a live stream of it, so we're going to be watching it live with you guys. We'll be doing a watch along, and we'll be talking about it just like we did for the first episode of State of Play. And yeah, I mean, this one I think is going to be much better than just hearing about this.
Well, yeah, I mean, they've definitely probably took the feedback. That's what he's probably talking about is people's reaction, and they probably have changed some things.
Yeah, but like Medieval, and we haven't seen that since. God, I think it was since like December. They didn't have I think it was PS. Maybe it was PS. No, it was October. I'm sorry, October around Halloween, where they showed off like a full trailer for it. And then they said it's a new title, so either a new IP or just something we haven't seen yet. So that's going to be very interesting. Who do you think is going to be the developer to kind of show off this new title? Because we have Sucker Punch doing Ghost of Tsushima. Santa Monica already gave theirs, which was God of War. So I don't see Santa Monica. Maybe Studio Japan.
Last of Us 2.
But we already know about that.
Oh, you're talking about the new title?
The new title. The new title. Who do you think is behind this? Because I'm like thinking it could be Studio Japan, because Studio Japan releases a lot of games. There's multiple developers inside that one. I know, mind you, if you.
I doubt it, but
hey, man, that would be sick.
Yeah.
That's a way to get people amped and excited.
Yeah.
Ooh, that would be sick.
Dark Souls 4.
No.
Modern Warfare.
No. Shut up. No, but honestly, I could honestly see Bloodborne 2, because we've already got Sekiro that came, like, we already got that, and that might be what From Software has been doing, and that could be like a second party game. I'm trying to think. We already got Naughty Dog working on Last of Us, so I don't see that one. Honestly, don't know. I really can't.
Yeah, I mean, unless
Blue Points is doing Medieval, so we're gonna be seeing that. I don't know. Maybe Gran Turismo, but I don't know. That wouldn't get me extremely excited. Again, I'm not a racing guy.
Yeah,
but I don't know. I thought that,
it's hard to say because we don't know what we don't know.
I'm just trying to. We're speculating.
Yeah, I'm gonna hope it's Bloodborne 2.
Yeah,
that'd be cool.
Yeah, I'm thinking Studio Japan. I'm gonna kind of
going with what?
I don't know. That's the thing. I don't know what they could do, but Studio Japan is a big studio that does a lot of different things. Or Santa Monica also is a kind of like a small publisher, like not their in-house developers, but like for instance, when Journey came out, Santa Monica helped that video game company fund and help that developer put out Journey.
Sure.
So I don't know. It'll be very interesting. But again, we will be streaming this live this coming Thursday, May 9th at 3 p.m. Pacific Time, 6 p.m. Eastern Time, and 5 p.m. Central Time. So we'll be there watching it with you guys.
Indeed.
But on to our next topic. PlayStation 4 has sold 96.8 million units worldwide, and I'm pulling this from IGN. So from IGN, Sony has announced that 96.8 million PS4 consoles have been sold worldwide. This figure comes part of a lengthy end of financial year report that offers a variety of insights into the company's success over the past 12 months. So over pretty much
annual,
yeah. So from at the end of quarter one to the end of quarter one last year, 2018. In the 2018 financial year, Sony sold 17.8 million PS4 consoles, with 2.6 million of those sales occurring in the fourth quarter of the year, between January and March of 2019. Overall, this figure is down 1.2 million on the previous year, but it comes in 0.03 million higher than Sony's original projections. Sony expects that this decline will continue into the new financial year with a forecast of 16 million expected sales, though the company expects that there will be an increase in game sales. There is also an expectation that the operating income of Sony's game division will see a decrease this year as development expenses for the next generation console will increase. There's also a note that Sony are expecting a decreased contributions from, quote, highly profitable first-party software titles, suggesting that from 2019 to 2020 won't be big on PS4 exclusives. In terms of software sales in terms of games, software sales pulled in $20.7 billion, which is an increase of 19% from the previous year. 45% of 2018's final quarter full game sales were digital, up from the last year's, which was 43%. Plus subscription service also has seen a notable increase with an extra 2.2 million subscribers added. This brings the total subscriber count for PlayStation Plus up to 36.4 million. Overall, looks like a strong year for Sony's gaming division, but it appears that we should expect a quieter 12 months ahead of the company as the company puts its next generation PS5 plans into motion. And that's from IGN. That's great. That's actually really good. So, period, it has sold 96.8 million. I believe it's at number 5 as out of all of the sales of video game consoles sold ever. It's at number 5. This is not a bad year, but hearing this one, it was in terms of game software sales, $20.7 billion, an increase of 19% from the last year. But 45% of that 20.7 was digital games. So almost half of that, almost half was in digital. What do you think about that?
I think it's not surprising.
Well, yeah. Is it anything else? Just not surprising?
Yeah,
Okay.
I mean, there's not too much I think I can read into it. I mean, like, he's talking about digital game sales, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so, I mean, it's basically just, showing that we are now reaching the tipping point where digital overtakes physical. As far as sales go.
Yeah, no, yeah. But I think you and I both are on the same hand that you and I both
like
love physical. Yeah.
I get digital when it's free and or necessary, but I prefer physical all the time.
Yep. No, I completely agree. But no, that's really good. PlayStation Plus, like everything is on the increase, but it's not skyrocketing. It's kind of just plateauing, which, mind you,
that happens ultimately to anything.
Of course, and mind you, they've already started to talk about the PS5, so now we're already in that 5th, 6th year. So that we're at the point, like, all right, the next system is going to come out, the next generation is going to happen. So that's going to be very interesting. So yeah, but that's really good. That's very good for PlayStation. I really do like that. So yeah. And that's all the news that I have. Great.
Yeah.
You good? All right.
I was just stretching.
I know that. Got to get ready for this. All right. So, on to our PlayStation conversation. Mortal Kombat!
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Fine. Okay. You're just like, yeah, I'm just...
Oh, it's a good game.
It's a good game.
Yeah.
It's good. No, but anyway, we're going to be reviewing Mortal Kombat. That's what we're going to be doing today. So, to start off with, let's go ahead and talk about the story of Mortal Kombat 11. And I'll let you start with this, Guru Blaz.
Well, as an avid fighting game player, obviously Mortal Kombat's been one of the bigger, fighting games ever. Has, I think, definitely more of a pull than any other fighting game in the world, because even people who don't really play, it has like a mix of nostalgia, really good gameplay, and I would go so far as to say that I think Mortal Kombat, especially considering with X and 9, it has one of the best stories of any fighting game. Just overall, even going back to the very beginning, with 1, 2, and 3, like the mythology and the characters and the stories that they've built in that universe, I think are... Now, I'm not saying that there aren't other fighting games with decent stories, but I just think it's one of the more interesting stories for a game that is all about just fighting.
Yeah.
And that's especially true with Mortal Kombat 11. I think it really had, obviously it was great because the story in 10 was good too, and it continued it in a really interesting way. I think that bringing in the idea of time and time travel, but it doesn't come off as cliche or contrived, because they introduced characters like Kronika and Gira, so it's not just a magical MacGuffin where it's time travel just to make things interesting. It actually serves a purpose in the narrative. And having a character like Kronika, who is extremely powerful, temporal control and all of that.
Yeah.
So it gives an easy and she isn't, without knowing what you know about Mortal Kombat, there's a bunch of crazy beings in that universe. So it's not even outside of the realm of possibility that there would be a being like that. And it's cool because you get to have all of these cool interactions and situations by bringing the past versions of these characters back, especially now that some of them became revenants and are technically evil now, and to see how their past selves before all of the events that occurred in 10 happened, how they would react to that.
Yeah, so the premise of Mortal Kombat 11 is that Raiden, at the end of 10, he takes Shinnok's amulet, is kind of going crazy with power. In his mind, he's using Shinnok's amulet to protect Earthrealm. And then Chronica shows up going, this is not what I have had planned.
And she's just like, yeah, like kind of like, I'm the keeper of time. Like she's like essentially, I see, like she's like fate.
Yeah,
basically.
Like this is not what I had planned. Raiden continues to be messing with the timeline, which, mind you, that's kind of what happened in 9, where he saw visions of like kind of what happened in the past, like the midway Mortal Kombat games. And that's why 9 is when it was taken over by NetherRealm, which, mind you, that's just the same studio who's been doing Mortal Kombat, but became NetherRealm. That's why they went a different route with 9. And then 10 was a whole new story, and then even this is a whole new story.
But it continues directly after.
Yeah, 10. But it remembers its history, it remembers it, because what happens is that Chronica pretty much is going, we need to take Raiden out of the equation. So
and spoilers ahead.
No, we ain't spoiling. No.
Oh, we're not?
No, we ain't spoiling.
Okay,
No, we reviewing. We ain't spoiling.
All right.
So Chronica goes ahead and pretty much brings in the younger versions of all the fighters from Mortal Kombat.
Most
of them.
The ones that are in the game.
Yeah, so you have
because there's some people who haven't returned, going from 10. I kind of miss Kung Jin and Kenshi because I really like both of those characters. Mm-hmm. But yeah, you don't got any Kung Jin, no Kenshi, no Reptile. Obviously, the celebrity characters are going to be forthcoming.
Yep.
And they took out the ones that were in there, Jason, Alien, Predator, Leatherface.
Pretty much, but
and they took out Triborg, but they might add him back in. I'm not sure.
It's pretty much all of the main guys.
But
all of the main guys.
Other than Reptile and Kenshi.
Yeah. And then it's kind of like, the present meets the past, and Chronica is trying to recruit pretty much the past selves to pretty much replace, get rid of Raiden. Raiden's been messing with time too many times, and she wants to pretty much do a whole reset. She's like, Raiden's messed with the timeline one too many times, that's it. Reset, and that's where what happens.
But she needs assistance while she does it, because with her vast power, she still needs to do this magical hourglass thing.
Hence why that's why Shao Kahn's back. That's why you have
and Baraka,
Scarlet, Baraka
as a race, basically.
Yep. So by the end, I really like the story, and what I do like is that when the story mode ends, it leaves at pretty much almost like a cliffhanger. It kind of just leaves you all right, where do you go from here? The classic towers actually completed. Each character has a classic tower, and if you complete that character's classic tower, you get the ending for that character after the end of the main story, which I really do like that.
Yeah, and that's why I'm going to go through that, because I tried doing one, but Chronica's just such a bitch to fight.
Oh, I know.
She's just such an absolute bitch with her moves.
Yeah. But again,
her fatality's dope, though.
Oh, yeah, but when it comes to NetherRealm, NetherRealm is the reason a story exists in fighting games. Soul Calibur has that now, and I think
there was always a story.
Well, there was always a story, but what I mean is fighting games haven't had fighting games have always had story when it comes to the lore.
In the arcade generation, it wasn't as necessary because it was just you just want to put your quarter in and fight. The story was more of an embellishment just to kind of make it a more differentiate it from just another fighting game. But once you could play it on your home console, people wanted more than just that, because if they don't have anybody to play with, then there has to be something else about it.
Yeah. Honestly, that's what NetherRealm is the best at when it comes to telling a story through a fighting game. They are the best at doing that.
Yeah.
But let's go ahead and move on to so that's the story. The graphics look great.
They're phenomenal. I'm sure if it would have come out on a next gen, it would be but it's a vast improvement. The redesigns of the character are awesome.
Yeah, let's talk about that, because that's kind of been a controversial
Well,
thing.
yeah, but you know what? It's like the guy said. He's just like, because the main reason most people were complaining was because they don't have skimpy outfits on anymore.
Yeah,
and
so-
the guy was just like, I really don't care about that particular opinion, because if these people are fighting for their life, they're not gonna. That's not how they would be dressed.
Yeah, and so
Because I don't honestly care.
No, I get you.
I can go to the internet and see any of them without any clothes on at any time. But in the game, it's not necessary.
I get you. And so the controversy is, to catch you guys up to speed, is pretty much is that some of the redesign, especially for Jade and Katana, they are wearing more, pretty much like warrior
I also like the
outfits.
changes to how they're like, how they actually look, their face. Like they have like more of like of an ethnic look. Kitana looks much more Asian, which I think she would be.
Yeah.
And or whatever like the equivalent to that would be in Outworld.
Yeah.
But it gives them like it doesn't look as much like as opposed to, let's say, 9 or even 10, where they still have very generic, like, not they didn't look bad, but I feel like they were much more unique looking, like facially everybody like had more detail, like.
Yeah.
And like Jade, they talked more about of her Adenian heritage, because she wasn't in 10. She's one of my favorite characters. But Tanya, I think, was in 10, who was another Adenian with no real backstory, just kind of was in there to have a Jade-like character.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But and then I think it was also interesting in the story, like some of the relationships of the characters that you discover along the way are interesting, how they kind of work things together.
Yep.
But yeah, especially like, I mean, obviously the graphics like themselves, like things just looked more realistic as fun as much as they could.
Yeah.
I finally got to see what Shao Kahn looks like underneath his helmet.
Yeah.
And like one of my favorites is Baraka. Like his face, like with all those teeth in it, like just looks so good.
Oh, I know.
It's so good.
But with the controversy, pretty much what it is that Jade and Katana specifically in 9 and pretty much in a lot like the past Mortal Kombat games, it was very skimpy outfits. So it was like V-neck cutsy like down here,
and that's what it had been.
That's what it's been for years,
for the longest
time. But then what happened is that the art director or the character director for Mortal Kombat 11, he's like, I'm going to like that's not what a warrior would wear if they're fighting for their life, as you have said before.
Right.
And I completely agree. And honestly, I actually
I love the design.
I love the way
with more of a costume, you have like you can be more creative than just showing skin. Like that's old hat.
I know.
Like they were able to redesign, like Scarlet's redesign was super cool.
Scarlet looks great.
And
yes.
like just all of the like creativity that could be poured into like having more clothing to work with, because it makes more sense. Mm-hmm. Like with the kind of things that these people are doing to each other.
Oh yeah, that's like the character look for everyone looks great, and again, graphically, it looks great. Mind you, like it's these small improvements when it comes from like 10 to 11. I didn't see any massive jumps, but it
definitely is like a more realistic depiction as far as like graphic wise, as far as characters.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I mean, to me, it just kind of felt like it was more polished 10.
That's what I'm saying.
That's what
I mean. Yeah, and like, but they did change up other stuff though. But graphically, yeah, it's just
I'm talking
a little bit. Yeah, just like they polished things off, made everything, put some more textures in there, redesigned some stuff. And I think that it was everything all around. Like look wise, like Frost, I love her character design.
Oh yeah,
especially since she's like a cyborg now.
Mm-hmm.
It's awesome.
Yes, but let's go ahead and talk about that gameplay though. The fighting mechanics. Let's go ahead and talk about that. There's a lot to kind of pick apart when it comes to this gameplay. So first, when it comes to the fighting mechanics, it's the same Mortal Kombat that you've been playing for years. That directional input.
Yeah, most fighting games are like that.
Yeah. But like again, when it comes to fighting mechanics, it definitely feels like a Mortal Kombat game. That's what
I definitely think that it's definitely improved from 10. They did, I mean, because it is essentially the same, but there are a good chunk of differences. outside of like the big differences, like the fatal blow and crushing blow mechanics?
I think there's more to it. I think
it's better and faster. It's smoother, like the way you.
No, I'd say slower. I like.
It's faster because it's smooth. Like when you like it's slower. Like, but the thing is, your inputs still have to be fast to get like a continued combo. However, I think that they made subtle changes in how you initiate certain combos and like how they're carried out, and so it became like a little. I think it's a little bit easier to try to pull them off as long as your timing is good.
Yeah, I mean, what I mean by slower, and this is not a bad thing at all. I actually love this. What I like about it is that instead of a super bar that you have at like the bottom left or right, depending on where you sit, you have a vertical and a horizontal bar.
It's like defense and attack.
Yeah, your vertical is your defense, and your horizontal is your attack. And your attack is pretty much for amplified moves, and then your defense is when you do environment attacks. You know, when you interact with the environment, so like you take a lantern and throw it at your opponent, or take a body and throw it at them, or if you use the side of the arena and jump, kind of jump over your opponent, and that kind of thing. And then with the fatal blow mechanic, that is like my favorite thing.
I don't know if there's still toasties in that game because I haven't gotten one. Not to say that there aren't, but if there is, if there's not, then the crushing blow definitely replaced that. But I just wonder because it does do more damage to land a crushing blow. So
but the crushing blow has to be. It's almost like when you're parrying or.
It's a set. I actually they show you how to initiate it in tutorial.
Yeah.
Basically, from what I can because I've did it, it's almost like if you hit someone either right before or immediately after they make a move.
Yep.
And you time it out just right, then it'll like you get. But you can only have. Like if you do a crushing blow, you can't have a repeat of that same crushing blow throughout the rest of the match. So you can only get one type of each as long as you time it out. But yeah, it's basically it does a nice X-ray, zooms in and shows the damage, and it does a little extra damage than a normal hit would.
Yep. And that I like the balancing that they have done with these characters. Like the crushing blow, you can only do one of each variation per match. The fatal blow is your super,
and you get one.
And you get one.
But if you miss, as long as you don't hit someone with it,
you get it back.
You get it back over like a short period of time once your health is low.
But what happens is that but it's not on you. What happens is that if you get your opponent down to about a fourth of their health bar, they get the ability
30%.
To do it's a 30% or math. I know math. But if you get it down to that amount, you are giving your opponent that fatal blow. It's not you. Your opponent gets the ability.
But you have to be strategic about its use.
Exactly.
Because if you waste... Well, you can't really waste it because you won't lose it until you use it. But you could technically waste it if you, would have been able to defeat them without it and you still have other matches to go. Like, if it was the final round of the match and you wanted to just ensure victory, that's one thing. Yep. Or if you need to make a comeback or risk losing, but you could also use it, end up getting it, and, maybe they had barely any health and you still got another full round to go and you don't have use of that at all and they still do.
Yeah.
So that's, where that comes in. And I really like that. I like that more than the X-ray.
I agree.
I also like how they basically separated it, because in 10... your X-ray and your energy bar for extended combos and power combos were one and the same.
Yeah.
So if you basically had to choose between saving up for an X-ray, you could get multiple ones per round or per match, or even round, depending on how you're playing. But if you had to basically choose between one or the other, this allows you to have both, but only gives you one fatal blow in exchange for being able to do as many power.
And honestly, in 10, it was better to just just use amplified moves forever. Just instead of pulling off an
and then
X-ray,
the X-ray occasionally if you found yourself in a position where it was most advantageous.
Exactly, but most of the time, in order to do big damage, just use an amplified move, use a piece of your super bar, and just do more damage. And now I think I really do like that the amplified move. You do more damage with an amplified like combo or whatever, but like the way you do the biggest damage outside of Fatal Blow is the crushing blow, which is really really good. The game, like again, I really do like how when it comes to the gameplay, it's more balanced when it comes to it. Now, that's when it comes to the fighting mechanics. But there are other mechanics in the game, and this is kind of where now I have to talk about stuff I don't like. There is a. Well, let's go on to the modes, and I think that this will be good because we're talking about fighting mechanics, gameplay. I think that's good. We'll go ahead and talk about the modes first. The AI battles. So what you can do is that you can, in a customization, you can go ahead and create an AI, and you can have them fight another person's AI, and like it's just like a quick battle that you could do. What do you think about that?
That I actually haven't delved into too much. But I think it's an awesome. I'm going to. It's just I've been focusing on other stuff in the game. But I definitely plan on doing it just because you can earn stuff for it. And I think it's a cool concept. I never had Injustice 2, which I guess is where that started.
Yeah, it did. Yep.
But it's kind of cool because then like you get to watch a creation of yours fight someone else's, and you get bonuses. It's almost like the same reason that I like would watch computers fight in like Melee.
Yeah.
It's like because you get these perfectly programmed technical, because by definition, regardless of stats, every AI character has perfect mastery of the combo system because they don't need to think about input. It's just those will affect how often they do something, or
if you want them,
how quick they are.
Yeah, if you want them to be well rounded, they're just they kind of do everything but not the best. My team was Johnny Cage, Raiden, and Cabal, and I made Johnny and Cabal rushdown characters where it's like I just go on the attack, continue going, and then Raiden was strategic, meaning that he would only do moves when needed or when it was advantageous to him. And it's really fun, just kind of sitting there and going, and like even I go ahead and like I fast forward. You can fast forward it like 2 times and then 4 times, and I'm always sitting there. I'm like, okay, come on. Ooh, I'm so close. And the whole time I'm watching my opponent's health bar. And I'm like, come on, hit him. And then like my opponent would get a win, or if I get a win, I'm like, yeah, all right, on to the next one. And like you would only get 1 fight with each fighter. That's why you choose 3. Your first fight, like it's best 2 out of 3 for each fighter, which is really nice. I really do like that. The online. I know you probably spent more time with this.
I haven't done a lot. I played a little bit online because generally I've just been trying to unlock stuff with towers because I'm more about the story.
Yeah.
But I went online a few times, and it's just online.
Yeah.
Fighting online.
Yep.
It's the same game, so there's not too much else to say about it. It's solid.
Have you had any server problems? Have you had any like kickouts or
not yet. Like I said, I've only done it once or twice so far because I just play with friends I know who have it, and we just had a party, no problem. I didn't have any issues.
Yes, neither did I. Like again,
and I was on Wi-Fi too. So.
And you can do there's local ranked and tournaments. You can actually set up a tournament. Online with like all of your buddies and that kind of thing, and you can like do like brackets and that kind of stuff, which I really do like. That's really cool.
They also probably do that because they know it's going to be competitive,
so
that way you could just use that when you actually take it to a competitive scene.
Yes, exactly, and that's awesome. I'm very glad that that's there's a tournament mode in there. I really do like that, and it's good. That should be part in fighting games. Now these 2 other modes are part of kind of a part of the story, or kind of the new things they've added to this game. So you have towers, and there's 2 towers. There's classic towers and towers of time. Classic towers is as I've said before, is that if you beat a classic tower.
And it's the same as Towers has been. It's just fighting a successively higher and harder series of characters. Although this time around you do get like items that can be used and things that'll like make it, give you an advantage somehow that you can earn through the crypt or whatever.
Yeah. And they're all consumables. And then you have the Towers of Time, which it's just like towers, but
it's like test your luck, but but unfair. I mean, I guess they're changing it.
Yeah,
I haven't actually played it until before they actually sent out the update.
Yeah, so I played the Towers of Time, and okay, well, I'll get there because there are a few problems that I do have because you have then the crypt, which the crypt itself.
I like the crypt. I think it's a very cool
This is honestly the crypt in this game is better than what it was in 10.
Oh, by far. It's just more to it. You're moving.
Oh yeah.
It's not a first person grid based yeah, you're moving around. You get a hammer to smash environment stuff with. There's a forging mechanic. You can just open up stuff as you explore, and there's different unlockables and things to find. It's very, very cool.
It is really cool, but now this is kind of where I'm like, this is where I don't like this. So there are microtransactions in this game. You get coins,
hearts, and time crystals.
Coins, soul, soul orbs, which are these green orbs, hearts, and then time crystals. Time crystals you can get by finishing story mode. You get some through beating the tutorials, but these time crystals is the real life. You can use real life money to get these time crystals, and these time crystals allow you to pretty much unlock customization items for any of the characters in the game. So it actually kept. It kind of took what Injustice 2 did. So in Injustice 2, you got gear, and pretty much what you would do is that the gear system in 2, I loved it. I've talked about this where it was a loot box system, but it was ridiculously generous with it. After every match, you got a loot box, and you opened it, and you would get something. And then the thing is that you could either, if you got an item you didn't like, you could always break it down and get more.
And on that note, I also think the ability to create your own combat variants is very integral to that game.
Mm-hmm. But that's a cool thing about the customization with that is that you can create different variants. You can get different skins. You can get
different weapons. Masks,
you can
intros and animations.
You can upgrade your character, but the problem here is that the only way you get anything is in the crypt. The crypt is great to progress through. I love progressing through that thing, and it's really, really cool. But my God, is there a grind in there? It's ridiculous. And thank God that before this, when the game first came out, there was a patch. When the game first came out, if you did a dragon challenge, which pretty much during a match, if you did specific things, so duck 5 times, do a kick 3 times, whatever, do a throw, you would get coins during that match. Before now, you would only get 100. They did a patch, and now you get 1,000 per them. Thank God. There's other things, but in the crypt, there are Shao Kahn boxes, which pretty much you take the hammer, you break off the head, and then you need hearts in order to open them. The only way that you can get hearts is by doing a fatality or a brutality. In your matches. Mm-hmm. If you do a mercy and then a fatality, you get more hearts because you chose to fight them.
How do you do mercies? I haven't figured that out.
I believe that is
that an unlockable move?
No, it's I believe you hold down you hold down in L2, and I think that's how you get a mercy. But pretty much what happens is that you're doing a mercy, so when you get them down to finish him, you can choose to do a mercy and give them a 1/4 of their life back, and then you fight them again.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. So you're giving them the ability to fight you again.
Right.
And that can either go great for you or that can hurt you.
Right.
The hearts take a long time for you to get, and you need 250 for each chest, and you only get, I think it's when you do a fatality you get 5, if you do a mercy with a fatality you get I think you get 8, and then if you do a brutality I think you get 8 too, or something like that. You get a very small amount. You need to do this a lot. You need to do a fatality every time you fight. You get coins in every match. And honestly, the coins is probably the one currency they just kind of just hand out to you. So you're able to pretty much, if you do like a tower or two in Towers of Time or even classic towers, you get tons of coins.
And obviously, the better you do, the more you get.
Exactly, but the one that is really is harder to get is the soul orbs, the green orbs that open up in the crypt, and all of these things give you customizations. Now, mind you, you can open up a box and you can get stuff for the gallery, so it's like concept art, things like that. But you can also get what
fatalities.
Yeah, but what you're looking for is you want to get the fatality and the brutality and the gear for your guy and stuff. It is like I like going through the crypt, but like it is so up to chance and it is so grindy. Like I think I'm only like maybe I played the crypt for a good long time. Like I probably played story mode, went into the crypt, went as far as I could with the money I had, then went back, did some Towers of Time, went back to the crypt, so on and so forth. Like that was kind of the back and forth that I did, and the whole microtransaction part of that, like the grind it's too long. It's I get it why it's there, because it's like you got like play through the game, go do more stuff. I just feel like the one thing that I applaud Injustice 2, like Injustice has, the gear sets where if you get the gear, you can make your character better at specific stats and things. But in Injustice 2, they were so generous with like giving it to you. The only real life money that you could buy in Injustice was to give your character the ability. So let's say, for instance, here's a gear set, here's a gear set. I like this gear set aesthetically over here, but this gear set over here has better stats. I want this one to look like this one, and you could use you could go ahead and get use the real life currency or the real life, use real life money to get this currency, and you could do that.
Neo has a feature like that for free, where you can literally just anything you've owned in the game Neo, like the Capcom Dark Souls, you can make it look like for a small, for in-game currency, you never pay anything.
Yeah, of course.
But you can make it have the same stats, but look like something else that you like more.
But that's what I liked about Injustice 2, is that that was the only thing that the real life money came into play. It never impeded on getting gear or that kind of thing. That it was only to transmodify. Where now the time crystals that you can pull up the store, and it's all timed, and the store there's 4 items and they're all on a timer, and you can go ahead and use those time crystals to buy them. And if you see nothing you like, you don't touch the store. If there's a character, for me, I play as Johnny Cage. Johnny Cage is my main. I love playing Rushdown, and I am very much a get in there kind of fighter. That's how I play the Flash in Injustice. And in Tekken I play as Bob. I love Rushdown characters. That's who I play. So I spend more time. I want to get the gear for Johnny Cage. That's who I want. And if they have stuff for Garrus or Cetrion or those characters, I will never touch. I'll never touch those guys. I'll probably try them out for just to try it out, but I'll never play those guys. Those are guys that I will main. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So, and that's the loot box kind of thing in the crypt, is that once you get it, you own it. You don't you can't break it down to get more currency, and then you could buy bigger loot boxes like that. And I know I keep using Injustice 2 as an example, but
they made that too. So.
I know, but that's kind of where they kind of took that gear system from. But I honestly think they were far more generous with the gear system in Injustice 2 than they are in Mortal Kombat 11, and I guess for me personally, I think all of those aesthetics and all of that, stuff is really cool. And I visit the crypt every once in a while, but honestly for me, I just don't care as long as I can play with the fighters. It's more about the fighting aspect. Well, I agree, and I'm glad.
The aesthetics are cool. I'm not going to say that's not an awesome feature, and being able to do all that stuff, and unlocking fatalities and such, that's more of a thing for me. That's what I will go out of my way to do, because getting extra moves is more valuable than anything you're going to wear.
Oh, yeah. Oh, well, for me, I personally don't like that like Raiden and Kung Lao and Liu Kang, Katana and Jade are like, Raiden is like evil Raiden. I want like blue Raiden, not red Raiden.
Yeah, like
I don't
you get
want
a different costume.
exactly.
Costumes would be
Like I don't want Revenant, Kung Lao. I want I want him to look as if he was human, before he got murked. So like that's the kind of thing that like. But thank God it's all aesthetics. Now, mind you, the gear, you can level up the gear and give them augments so you can do better things. And that's kind of like what the gear system from Injustice did. But I don't know. It feels that WB, like again, we've seen this before, like WB put in loot boxes in Shadow of War, a single player game, that was never needed. It was ridiculous. I'm so glad that the current version of Shadow of War, mind you, it's kind of over. In the current version of Shadow of War, there's no loot boxes. You just play through the game and you get your stuff and bam. But in this, that I'm not a fan of that, and I really don't like that the time crystals. That's the fastest way that you get stuff. I think it was said that in order to get everything,
it was like 6,000.
Yeah, it was like 6,285. Like it was over $6,000. If you didn't grind, you just spend real life money to get all these time crystals. That is freaking ridiculous.
But I think that was also addressed by one of the developers, and they said that it's not true. Or whatever, but again, if it's aesthetics. So I honestly, at the end of the day, don't care.
I get you. I understand, and maybe that's something.
If it affected my ability to have a fighting advantage, then it would piss me off.
No, I agree.
But if it doesn't, then honestly, I can take it or leave it.
No, I agree. And I've already been talking about the customization. I mean, I think.
Yeah, we pretty much.
Okay, I didn't know.
That's pretty much what all that was.
And then the last thing that I have here is the tutorial.
I think it has a phenomenal tutorial.
This is very important in fighting games. And what I really
even for someone like me who plays lots of fighting games and I know my way around, I still go through all basic tutorials of a new game.
Oh yeah,
because you never know what nuance. Like those are the things you need to know, and they reward you for it. So but it also gives you the basics, which was awesome. But it also has some advanced stuff, which is what I like to get into for how to do and it gave me just having that stuff in the back of your mind and pulling it off kind of just gets you used to that.
And the tutorial really explains it in fighting game sense. Like when you play a fighting game, there are certain mechanics and certain things in a fighting game that is not in any other games, like frames
or things that just don't matter.
Exactly.
They're in other games, but it doesn't matter.
Like your frames in a fighting game absolutely matter. I remember my buddy Tony. He's a big fighting game guy, and for me, I love fighting games, but I would play them casually. I would go ahead and buy Soul Calibur and Mortal Kombat and that kind of thing. But when I played with him, he really broke it down. I remember me and him were playing, I believe it was Injustice 2. Me and him both got the Ultimate Edition, and me and him were we're going to just go in on this. He loves Darkseid, and that's who he chose, and I'm playing the Flash. I love the Flash. It's my favorite character, and me and him would just spend matches over and over and over again playing through, and he would explain all right, these are the frames that do this is the combo that you want to do. And what I like, relating this back to Mortal Kombat 11, in the tutorial, there's a tutorial that talks about frames and how that's important to how that works in there. And then they have a character tutorial. So all right, so if you like to play as Johnny Cage, which is for me,
that's what I really liked about Dead or Alive, because they've always had that where you can go into an individual character and it'll show you how to do every move in their roster.
Mm-hmm. Or what's the best way their combos work. Yeah. If you want to get good with a character, or you just want to learn how this character operates, whether to play as it or to fight against you, that's why that tutorial's there, and I really do like that. This is such a good tutorial. I'm very, very happy with that.
And I played through a lot of tutorials, and I think it's definitely one of the better ones.
Oh yeah, most definitely.
The visuals too, how they have the little hourglasses for doing combo, because it's showing you how the timing works.
Yeah,
which is honestly more important than anything else, because any game can have a command list, but if you don't know the exact like timing for things, then it's not going to help you to know what buttons to press.
Exactly. Mm-hmm. And that's what I really
sometimes
like about
having a pause in a combo changes the combo entirely depending on the game, or not having a pause makes it something else. Directions too, like it definitely does a good job of showing you how those things come together to be able to perform within those mechanics.
Yeah, and then also if you are not understanding how that combo works, you can press
and again, a lot like Dead or Alive and some other games have where it'll show you visually this is what it looks like.
Yeah, you press the touchpad.
Because even I had to do that. Like when I was getting to some of the advanced stuff, it's just like some of the timing and spacing was just like so. It's like I really don't know what they're trying to. So then I was like, okay, that's what it looks like, and that was pretty much what I was doing. But maybe I just gotta do it a little bit faster or slower.
Yep. And then they have a fatality tutorial for every character. So if you want to learn, you want to just get down pat. This is the fatality that I do. There's a little like square on your screen. If you're in that square, it's green, and that's where you need to be in order to do your fatality. Whether it's close, mid, or far, you have to.
Or there's what Jade does have anywhere.
That's ridiculous.
I love it.
That's ridiculous. I personally love. I love Johnny Cage's. It's the deadly uppercut, where pretty much what it is. It's called What the F? Who hired this guy? What the F? And pretty much what it is that it's like, all right, take marker, gunk, deadly uppercut, take one, and then he goes ahead and does it, and then like part of the opponent's jaw is like just gone. Deadly uppercut, take two, gunk, and then he does it again. He's like, dude, like he's not gone, and like, but his jaw is like just like gone, and like you can see the top of his mouth. And Johnny goes, "Who hired this guy? What the F?" And it's bleeped out. And then he does it one more time, and he like his whole arm is just in the person's head, and then he throws it at the camera. Like I love that. I love that.
For me, out of the I haven't seen every fatality, but I'd probably
Raiden's is really cool too. I like his when he pretty much lightning knives 1, 2, and then he like goes behind, like teleports behind him.
Actually, one of my favorites is probably Baraka, where he just rips your face off, and then he rips off the front part of your skull, and then he just sticks his spike through your head and just eats your brain.
Yeah, that one's really cool.
Yeah.
Again, fatalities are always. That's why.
And then that's another thing with the increased the graphics and like the way they use like how they do their fatalities and the blood and the guts is like the viscera is very detailed.
Yeah. But I think we covered everything. We talked about the story, we talked about graphics, we talked about the gameplay when it comes to the fighting mechanics, we talked about the different modes in the game, which is the AI battles online, the 2 towers, which is Towers of Time and Classic, the Crypt, customization, and the tutorial. I think that's everything.
That's pretty much it.
Just you can also customize. You have a combat card, which is kind of like your calling.
Yeah,
card.
But I mean that's
But that's in all fighting games. I forgot.
And
I just forgot to
games.
mention. Yeah, I just forgot to mention that.
Sure.
But let's go on to final verdict. Guru Blaz, I'm going to start with you. So final verdict for Mortal Kombat 11.
I'm going to give it a 4.5 out of 5.
4.5 out of 5? All right, explain.
Because I think that it's very hard for a game to be perfect, and it is a very good game. There are certain aspects of it, like with the microtransactions and such, that kind of, I think, keep it from being flawless. But I still think it's a phenomenal masterpiece of a fighting game. As far as the mechanics, like based on like just being a fighting game, is great. I just can't willy-nilly give out a perfect score because that's like saying this is perfection.
No, again, we hand those out very, very sparsely.
Yeah.
For me, if it was just shinier Mortal Kombat 10, so we still had the super meter from before, and just a more finesse version of 10, that was it. I would give this a 3, but we have a new just kind of combat system with the defense and attack bars, the fatal blows, the crushing blows, your tutorial and everything. The story is great, and it still feels like Mortal Kombat and everything. It's awesome. I really like the new changes they put into this game. This game feels slower, but not in a bad way. It's still hectic. It's still
not
fast.
slower. It's more calculated.
It's more strategic.
You can take your time.
Mm-hmm.
It pays to take your time.
Yep.
And if you rush, then you could put yourself at a disadvantage.
Exactly. Yep. And you can't just willy-nilly pull off supers.
Right.
Which I really do like. But also, the bad thing, the cons with this though, is the microtransaction, how grindy the crypt is, where almost unneeded grind, with the time crystals, and then how you get your gear, the customization, which is good customization, but how to get them, it's absolutely ridiculous. And if anything, shout out to Maximilian Dude. He has a fantastic video talking about the crypt and how he went about doing it and kind of his breakdown of it. So I recommend everyone who's watching to go watch Maximilian Dude talk about Mortal Kombat. But my final verdict to Mortal Kombat 11 is a 4 out of 5. Very good fighting game. I love NetherRealm, but that microtransaction, all of the grind, and the crypt. I love the crypt, but like how you go about doing it, not the puzzles, but like gathering the stuff from the crypt. Yeah. It's too much. I don't have that kind of time to be able to go and do all of that. I don't have that kind of time. And I feel that and I understand why it's there. I get it from like the publishing aspect, but it's too much. I don't know, but yeah, I think that's it. But yeah,
that's about all I got.
Sweet, awesome. Well, guys, please go ahead and comment. Let us know what you guys think. Have you been playing Mortal Kombat 11? What you guys think? Who's your favorite character? Mine is Johnny Cage. Yours is who's yours? Who do you mean? Jade.
Well, my favorite character is Sub-Zero.
But I main Jade.
But you main Jade. Like, story-wise, Sub-Zero is my favorite.
Oh, mine is Raiden. I love Raiden. I love Raiden. But guys, please let us know what you guys think. But guys, thank you so much for watching. If you haven't already, please go ahead and subscribe to our channel, youtube.com/Brotherhood of Geeks. Go ahead and like the video, subscribe to the channel, and press the bell icon. That way, whenever we put up a video, we put up a video. You can also follow us on Facebook, which is facebook.com/The Brotherhood of Geeks. You can also follow us on Twitter at Dualshock'd BOG. That's the name of this PlayStation podcast, Dualshock'd BOG. And then you can also watch us when we stream on Twitch at twitch.tv/Brotherhood of Geeks. I think that's everything. Anything else from you, Guru Blaz?
Nope.
Alrighty then. Well then, I'm Brett J. Rasmussen.
I'm Guru Blaz.
And as always, live to play, play together. We'll see you guys next time.